Hello, people. How are you? So I want to talk about photography copyrights, a client's rights, freedoms, the photographer's rights and freedoms and stuff like that. Because I think it's a debate that it's a very good debate that we need to discuss and to look at as photographers, our clients, and I'm just gonna talk about this topic, like from the cuff, without reading or notes and stuff like that, because I've been in photography for now 20 years. Yeah, I've been in photography for a very long time now, and I know photography, understand photography. Yeah. So, first things first that I'm gonna talk about is that a photographer, first of all, is entitled to the image they capture, the image that's recorded on their camera. They're entitled to the copyrights of that image. So whatever images I capture as a photographer, that's my work, that's my copyright. Now, what also needs to be understood is that there is what we call ethics as well in terms of events. I'll give an example, the snap and give guys. A lot of people pay for pictures they're not supposed to pay for. When they go for events, pops up some cameramen taking their pictures, and then they get those pictures and line them up per entrance so that people should buy those pictures. That is a serious issue. It's a serious problem, but people have entertained it here in Zambia. People have entertained it here in Zambia, where a client feels like, oh, I need to pay for this photo because I don't know where this photo will find itself or what will be done to this photo, So people buy pictures because they are forced to buy those pictures, yeah? They are forced to buy those pictures. So what I need to talk about today also is educating you people on issues of copyrights, clients' rights, photographers' rights, and all those things. Yeah. So the other thing I need to mention is that if, for example, there is a case right now of a photographer suing a company that used their photo, the question we need to look at, for example, what we need to look at is this. If, for example, it's the photo involving I show speed drinking Vatra water, I show speed, the person, that American vlogger that was invited into Zambia and was hosted by the Ministry of Tourism in partnership with Trade Kings or Big Tree. So Big Tree were probably the sponsors. That's why the water is featuring with I show speed. You need to understand this. So there is an organization hosting a popular figure, and this popular figure is drinking water by one of the sponsors for the host. Okay? I've seen a lady, by the way, written Tendai asking for money for transport to go and mourn the mother. This is a wrong platform. We did not kill your mother, sorry, but we are going to be a bit insensitive. You can't come here on a live video asking for money. You are a scammer, asking for money to go and mourn my mother. Are we your family for you to come and ask money here? And you think us we are just going to believe that, no, she's mourning the mother? No. I think sometimes as people you must be sensitive and on what you comment, even if it could be a true thing. You can't come here and start, now I'm over 300 you're busy. No, I want to go and mourn my mother. Are we your relatives to give you money? Allah, we are going to block you. My mother is not. Okay. So, if I capture a photo of Cristiano Ronaldo drinking Vatra, okay? I capture Cristiano Ronaldo drinking Vatra. The best thing I can do is, if I don't want that photo to be used by the makers of Vatra, I should remove the label when editing the photo. Okay? I should remove that brand, that logo, when editing the photo. I should edit it out when Cristiano Ronaldo is drinking the water to avoid the company using my photo. Now, if the company, now after I've removed that photo, I've edited it out, and then they edit their photo and add their Anankane, then they have tampered with my photograph. They have tampered with my copyright. So what happens is that there is a copyright infringement. Now, if I capture the bottle of their drink very visibly, I capture the bottle, drink, a logo and everything, and it's showing that, I'm simply marketing them. And if they use that photo, I can't blame them. I can't sue them for using that photo. I need you to understand this. Then you need to understand also the context. They are sponsors of that person, because that I Show Speed did not just come in Zambia by accident. Someone somewhere paid for the bill for I Show Speed to be in Zambia. Somebody paid the bill. Somebody somewhere, nothing is for free. Somebody paid something, and those are the sponsors. So was Big Tree one of the sponsors of that event? So, if this happens now, this is what happens now. If the photographer was not hired, if the photographer was hired, they cannot sue for copyright infringement. If the photographer was not hired, the question is, how did the photographer find themselves at that place? The same thing with what happens in events where you become a snap and give. A snap and give is a person who just pops up at any event and starts capturing pictures anyhow of people without their consent. The question is, did you get the consent from the organizers of the event? Because we are talking of organizing of an event, sponsorship of events, the sponsors. The sponsors, when they sponsor an event, the organizers organize photographers, the media, the people who cover that event. So if you sue a company for using your photo when they were part of the sponsorship, you are losing out on money yourself. You are losing out on money yourself. Okay? So, you need to be very careful, young photographers, as you come on the photography scene with your so-called rights. You need to be very careful, because as young photographers, when you are starting up a photography brand, let me educate you. When you're starting up a photography brand, be good to all the corporate entities. You know, don't follow me. I can come and do some stuff here on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. I've built a brand for over 20 years. I've built a brand. You can't come in photography 1 year, 1 month, 2 months, you start feeling like, oh, you can just wake up and just go and say, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm a powerful photographer. Naka one lens, naka one camera. One lens, one. I know I am powerful. No. Photography is not what people most people in Zambia, you find that people who hate Chellah Tukuta will just compare him with anything out there, anything that's capturing pictures. They will just, hey, no, this one is better than Chellah. Photography is not about who is better than who is what, than who and what. No. It's your style that sells you out there. It's your style people go for. It's the way you do your photography that people, follow, So, yeah. So, getting back to the issue of copyright. So, the Ministry of Tourism invited iShowSpeed to Zambia. Okay? Invited iShowSpeed to Zambia. They hired photographers to capture. So you show up as a photographer. You are capturing that event. Nobody invited you. You just show up. You are killing yourself. You are killing your brand. What could have happened is, instead of the photographer suing or trying to sue the company, the photographer should have been happy that the company used their photo, because you're an upcoming photographer. You're just upcoming. You're not an established photographer. Being an established photographer, you can't own one camera and one lens and you call yourself an established photographer. No. I own about 11 cameras. Latest state-of-the-art equipment, cameras. I've invested $130,000 in equipment, in photography equipment. You can't just have an investment of 50 pin, 60 pin, and you feel, 60,000 kwacha, which is how much in dollars? It's like $2,000. And you feel like, I've now made it in photography and stuff like that. No. Photography, when you are building a brand, you need to be very, 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 very careful with relationships. With how either you can build relationships or destroy relationships. Especially in the corporate world. In the corporate world, they are interlinked, these people. So you sue Trade Kings today, or you sue Big Three, the next company will not want to work with you because they have seen to say you are petty. And this pettiness of when you're a photographer, you start wanting to compare. You young photographers who like to compare yourself. No, comparing myself with Chellah Tukuta. You are destroying your brand. In case people advise you wrong, don't follow these social media influencers who lie to you. Oh no, your pictures are better than Chellah Tukuta's. Chellah Tukuta's built a brand. Chellah is a brand. Not just a local brand, but a global brand. Chellah today can be heard in America. Chellah today can be heard in South Africa. Chellah can be heard anywhere. You, what brand have you built? Focus on building your brand. Focus on growing your brand. Do not focus on fighting battles that you know that you can. There are just certain things you need to understand to say, okay, as I am upcoming in this industry, I need to learn 1, 2, 3 things for me to be able to survive and to thrive in this industry. The company that you want to sue, or the brand that you are suing, or the company that you want to feel yourself you are too big for it, you find that the employees, you sue that company, the employees in that company will not want to work with you. Because remember, when you sue a company, you're not just suing a company, but you also look at the employees, the people working for that company. Are you sure that those people working for that company is paying salaries to employees who could be your clients? Who could be your clients? So if you sue a company, you are also, you don't look at the bigger picture to say that company has got employees. You need to be smart enough to say, oh, okay, this company used my work. Maybe let me reach out to them and advertise my work, and also have an audience with their members of staff and sell my brand. See that? Look at things from a bigger picture, the bigger picture. People wonder, why is Chellah Tukuta a brand that everywhere you go, Western Province, Northwestern, Eastern, Northern, what? You hear someone shouting, Chellah Tukuta, Chellah Tukuta, Chellah Tukuta. It's because I've built a brand on the fact that people will share my work, people will use my work, and people will know this is a photo by Chellah Tukuta. There are people who follow Big Tree or Trade Kings that don't follow you, that if they post a photo on their platform, those people who didn't know about you, they will know about you. I feel so sorry for the young man that, whoever is advising the young man is advising him wrongly. They are making the young man, especially the bloggers on social media, they are cheating the young man to say, you're the best photographer, you're better than Chellah. Photography, there is no one you can say is the best, is better than what. No, it's a preference of the people that follow you. It's a preference of people that follow you. I have had my works judged by the best people in the world. For me to win CNN awards, I've had people, proper critics of photography. Proper critics. Look, these people who come here on Facebook to judge a photo are not they are not educated in the photography sector. These are people who be telling you, who be judging a photo based on editing. You know, I look back to the debate that was there from the Kuomboka pictures. People get my photo and get another photographer's photo and say, who took it better? People start saying, no, this photo was edited like what, blah, 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 blah. That's not how professionals judge photos. Professionals don't judge photos like that. Professionals look at the elements of composition. Elements of composition are the rules of photography, because photography also has got rules. Are the rules of photography applying in a photograph? It's not, oh, me, I've edited the photo, it's looking like this. And no, are the rules of photography applying? That's the more reason you will find that I am not that I'm boasting, but I'm the only photographer in this country that has won some of the best international awards in this world, because I know the rules of photography. I know the elements of composition. Desaturating a photo, removing reds and what and chan does not make a photo cinematic. No. Desaturating a photo is not making a photo cinematic. But you'll find that in this country, when people don't like Chellah Tukuta, there are people who don't like Chellah Tukuta. So anything Chellah Tukuta does is not good for them, because they don't like Chellah Tukuta. And my dear young brothers, sisters in photography, do not allow politicians to mislead you, because I noticed that battle became about UPND and PF. And when you judge photos based on party affiliation, then there's a problem. Okay? Then there is a problem, because People will be telling you, oh, your photos are nice, based on the fact that they don't just like the fact that Chellah Tukuta is photographs HH. Chellah Tukuta associates with UPND. You see that? Then you grow big-headed and start thinking, oh, I think people have my photos and blah, blah, blah. Be careful. You see, I have built a brand. You need to understand that I am the only photographer in this country that ever became a diplomat. Why? I've built a brand. I can work without a job. I have photography as my career. I have made a name for my photography career. You know, I see people when I post my works and I'm advertising my photography works here, and they're saying, you are now broke, you are posting your pictures. Or you're now competing with others. No, this is Chellah Tukuta photography page. I need to remind people that I'm a photographer. You want me to be posting what? Just because I mix politics here, I mix some real life situations that are going on in the country and stuff like that, doesn't mean that I'm not a photographer or I stopped photography. No. I am a photographer. This is Chellah Tukuta photography page. The core business here is photography. But we mix with fun, interactions with people, and all those things. And, you know, that's how we interact with people. But we need to keep posting our photography here. Some people, I've seen some people say, hey, no, you're now posting your photos because you're broke. Have you ever seen Coca-Cola stop advertising? Mwaimapo Coca-Cola yare kukita advertise. Coca-Cola ever advertising? You need to understand and you need to learn. First of all, build a brand. Coca-Cola, I'll use Coca-Cola as an example. Coca-Cola has been in the game for how long? For a very long time. I saw a comparison of Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Some people are comparing Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Okay? And they put in the cups, Pepsi and Coca-Cola in the cups, and then they gave someone to drink. When someone drank it, they said, wow, this one is nice. Then they said, oh, it's Pepsi. Then they got the bottled with the label on them and gave the same person to drink. When the person drank, they said Coca-Cola was better. What changed? Nothing changed. It's just that Coca-Cola has built a brand. Coca-Cola has built a brand that even if people will be using it as a comparison. So for me, when people start comparing, oh, who is better than Chellah Tukuta, it means that I am the apex of photography in the country. If people are going to get this photographer today and start comparing with Chellah Tukuta, it means that Chellah Tukuta is the apex of photography that you have to compare other photographers to Chellah Tukuta. Okay? So you will be there arguing. Okay? Okay? So you will be arguing of, oh, Chellah Tukuta, your photos, this one are not good photos. If you are ever criticizing my photography, you are also helping me learn more about my photography. And I'm even improving more because my work is more criticized. And I know the role that I play in the photography industry. So when people are sharing even if they trash my work, the thing is that they are talking about who? Chellah Tukuta. So I feel good myself because then I know to say, okay, I am the king of photography in the country because people will not trust your work if you are nothing. People will not even talk about you if you are nothing. So if people get your work and they start comparing you with Chellah Tukuta, I'm sure some people even feel good to say, oh yeah, people are comparing me with Chellah Tukuta. But also as a young photographer, you should be wise enough to say, oh, let me reach out to Chellah Tukuta and learn. Let me reach out to Chellah. Mr. Tukuta, how did you reach this level? How did you get to this level, Mr. Tukuta? Okay. Now, young photographers in this country, they think going in Photoshop, photoshopping pictures, Photoshop pictures, and they're being cheated. Oh, you're editing a knife. Let me tell you, I'm a very well-tested photographer. Very well tested photographer. You know, I'll give an example. Doing presidential photography is not a joke. It's not an easy thing. People look at pictures of the president, for example, and they see, oh, the pictures of the president look nice, or the first lady. You are supposed to capture those pictures, and within 10 minutes, within a short space of time, you need to have those pictures released out there for them to be posted. Some chap out there will be thinking, oh, you know, and here's the thing with the Zambian population. The Zambian population of people, very few people understand photography. They don't know, most of the people don't even understand photography. That's why most people will say, hey, these pictures are not what? Yeah, go and edit the picture. If you, for example, are doing presidential photography, you don't have the luxury of sitting down to edit a photo. So you will find that some chap goes and sits down and starts doing frequency separation, smoothing the skin, what? When you're photographing a president, you don't have the luxury to start smoothing the face. You start what? Sometimes, you know, so I look at people when they're comparing pictures and I'm like, okay, so this young man, you know, there are very few photographers in this country who can capture a photo and immediately release it out there. See the way I did the Kuomboka or the Ntwala or other events that I go for. When I go for an event, immediately the pictures will come out. But for the other people who are capturing from the same event, they will take time to edit those photos, even some days, and come and release those photos later. But the moments would have gone. The moments would have gone. The time, the news would have become stale. So for me, I've invested in the skill of knowing to say, okay, as I am capturing the pictures, they must be perfect on camera, not in Photoshop. So I am not a Photoshop photographer. I am a photographer who draws with light. Because photography, photo means light, and graph means to draw. So drawing with light and understanding the rules of photography, the elements of composition. There are rules in photography. Okay? There are rules in photography. You know? Just because you can go and use Photoshop, you now learn how to use Photoshop. Learning how to use Photoshop is not photography. I've seen people who say, oh, your pictures, Chellah Tukuta, your pictures were looking yellow, or your pictures were looking what, paprika things. I've seen people who write those things. But let me tell you something. Pictures in their natural element. If I go in a place where the light, the ambient light, has got certain colors, gold, what, chan, and all those things, blue lights and stuff like that, the camera responds to that because a camera has got a sensor. So the light that is being provided in that room is what I know he adds what to his pictures. No, just nonsense. And people are making you feel, oh yeah, he takes pictures. Bro, the same yellow pictures I've taken Chellah Tukuta out of the country. 70 countries in this world. 70 countries I've photographed. I have photographed Ban Ki-moon, the former UN Secretary General, Ban Ki-moon. I have worked under Pete Souza, who was Obama's photographer. Those are people that have mentored me in photography. Pete Souza, Joe McNally. I have been, I learned photography from the best people in the industry, in the game, in the world. I have been rated top 15 documentary photographers in the world by American Broadcasting Corporation. I have been awarded by the most prestigious news agency, CNN. I have been awarded by Al Jazeera. I have done works for Al Jazeera. I have done works for CNN. I have won awards in Ethiopia, best runway fashion photographer. I have won in Paris, in France, as best runway fashion photographer Africa. Best runway fashion photographer Africa. I have been rated one of the best runway fashion photographers and fashion stroke editorial photographers in the world. Learn. Mule tuipusha. Noti mukala panga fya mafambos in the industry. Waisabuka firelo, I'm suing this company. Those are the same companies who could be your sponsors to go out of the country to go and do some photography works. How can you go and approach Big Three or Trade Kings for sponsorship to go out of the country and carry out an assignment if you're going to sue them? Do not burn the bridges. Do not destroy relationships. Do not. Because me, I had companies back in the days that I would reach out to for sponsorship when I'm traveling out. And they'll sponsor you. For me to have gone to, I've been hired to go and cover events in South Korea, Seoul, the capital city of South Korea. So I went there to capture the World Summit. Twaya. Wakopa World Summit. Twaya. Twakopa. America. London Fashion Week. South Africa Fashion Week. Kwale banishita. Nyapa pere vina nishita kofe relax a bit. Because I think sometimes when you do some things, they become a bit boring as well, I have traveled this world. I have seen things. And I feel bad for young photographers today because a lot of young photographers, instead of learning from us who've been in the industry for a long time, they feel they know it. And that's why it's difficult to produce the next international. I mean, you go and win an award, in some African country, you go, oh no, I won the what? No. Look, a Zambian award hosted in a different country doesn't make at Izikomo Awards. The organizers are Zambians, just that they've taken it to Rwanda. You might know I've won an international award. Yeah, guys, and Amawa Jam Zambia, they are conqueror. Amawa Jam Zambia, the way they award people, I have seen those awards when they're awarding people. The way they award people. Muzambia from Waba. People will see that, oh, Chellah Tukuta Mukari, for example, oh, Chellah is good at his photography thing. And he's made the name. Organizers of the awards, kupata. Now, if you win awards on sympathy, this is why I'll go back also a bit, I'll divert a bit. Kuli music. If you look at Chile one, and Your Maps. Your Maps is better placed. Your Maps is better placed. Because Your Maps is not winning awards out of sympathy, out of Ichifukushi. Get it? There are some people on this platform, if they said, oh, there are awards, photography awards, they will not vote for Chellah because they don't like Chellah. They don't like Chellah that is a landlord. Ala yumfwa. The landlord yakatumpa. Okay? There are people who will not vote for you based on the fact that tabaku temwafi. And they want to, they think that, oh, who are we going to use uku karifia Chellah? It's the same thing with Chellah 1 and Your Maps. People are trying to use Chellah 1 ukweba tibakarifie Your Maps. But Your Maps is a talent. Your Maps is a talent that you can't fight. Your Maps is a talent. You fight Your Maps in your country to say, oh, Your Maps is a talent in the country. He goes and he wins an award in Nigeria. You fight, hey, Chellah Tukuta, shine, I won the Lens Awards in Nigeria. So, you the fans, you the so-called fans on Facebook, are the ones who create these so-called imaginary enmities or battles. Someone just picks up a photo, another photo, and they put it up there. Who took it better, Chellah or this one? Like how? For me, I love violence. I'll participate in the violence. But I know deep down my heart to say, both images are good. Both images are good in their own light. There is no bad photo. There is no good photo. It depends. You are looking at it from your eyes, your point of view, your perception, how you see things. A photographer captures things the way they see them. For me, I'll tell you, I'm not a cameraman. I'm a photographer. I am a photographer. And as a photographer, I capture what it feels like, not what it looks like. I capture emotions. I tell the story as it is, in its raw format. That's why when most people are saying, oh, you are not good at editing photos. I'm not an editor of photos. I am a photographer. I'm a storyteller through photos. I want my photos to tell a story. That's why every time I'm at an event, I capture moments. I tell stories as they are. Not where you start, oh, who captured it better? Who captured it better? Those who say who captured it better, they don't even help you buy bundles. They don't even help you buy lenses. Chellah Tukuta has got a network. I've got a serious network. A serious network that I've got. My network in the photography industry is too big. I've got fans. Imagine the president is a fan of my photography. The first lady is a fan of my photography. Those are fans of my work. The first family are fans of my photography. There are people in the corporate world who are huge fans of my photography. You find most of the influential people in this society, in this country, most of the influential people, we will find them calling the baddest. Even if I charge them for a photo shoot, 20 pin, 10 pin, whatever, they will not argue. They are fans. I have built a brand that is speaking to the most influential people in the country. You need to ask to say, how did this guy get there? Me, don't conkelesha me. You young photographers, if I understand small tamper, where you're conkeleshaning me, at no Chellah is able to pull up a stand and get away with it. Issue code yamu nove tabendela. Issue code yamu nove tabendela. You can't think that just because Chellah Tukuta pulled up a stand and it got away with it, even you think you can pull up a stand and get away with it. Ala mukaichenesha. Mukaichenesha. You will injure yourself. Mukaichenesha. You know? When I go to an event, there can be 100 photographers, but everyone was wanting to say, I want Chellah to capture my photo. Because Chellah Tukuta has got a reputation of being a good photographer in the country. So, Timu Abanangu Bangoko, everyone will be saying, no, I want Chellah. Even my haters, even those who hate me, when they see me, they won't say they hate me, no. But they will say, Chellah Tukuta. I want Chellah Tukuta to capture me. I have captured some of the most notable figures in Africa. The Davidos, P Square. I was hired by P Square to go and capture them in Nigeria. And I've seen a message, a comment from Henry Banda. How many fellow photographers have you connected? It's very difficult, my brother, to connect fellow photographers in this country. Because every one of them feels varifika. How do you help a person who Africa? Every one of them thinks they are competing with you. How? There are people. How do you connect people who feel they have made it in life? So sometimes in Dalolesha, I feel like, okay, they've made it. Okay, all right, interesting. Okay, okay. There are people who feel they have arrived. So you see, your network is your net worth. People don't know how to collaborate. You know, the Zambian environment is so toxic. Okay? The Zambian environment is so toxic. People, instead of collaborating, they want to compete. You see, you find the photographer they run a page on Facebook. Then they push the same competition. They try to run a competition. Who took the photo better of the president? If you are the best photographer, why hasn't the president hired you? Yeah. Anyway, so you need to understand and you need to learn that in this industry, there is a lot to learn. There is a lot to learn. Young photographers do not think that just because you know Photoshop, you know how to edit pictures and stuff like that. Yeah, nah. And you know, a lot of young photographers, Chellah, I'm asking for a camera. I don't give cameras for free. I don't give cameras because I don't manufacture cameras. So if you come to me asking me, I'm asking for a camera. Hi, corner man. I'm not gonna give you a camera. I work every camera that I own. I worked hard for it. Now I want to go and work hard for your camera. You know this thing of wanting free things. This thing of wanting free things is very dangerous. If you are free, if you are free, you want to have free things. You want to be given things on a silver platter. You know? No. No. Life is not free. I did not get here by luck or by chance. No. It's hard work. You know, people say, Chellah, you just have connections. Do you think my connections came easy? Eh? When you people were laughing at us, working with Bali, President Hakainde Hichilema, you are laughing at us. Taka wine, taka pite. The same people mwadi number. Hey, we are just. Do you think that I would have been connected to a president if Hakainde Hichilema did not win elections? How was HH going to win elections? It's through campaigning for him and risking our lives. Number when you think connections come easy. Connections don't come easy. Let me educate you on the issue of connections. You people like to preach connections, connections, connections. You think by sitting in your bedroom, you get connections. Eh? You think just by sitting, oh, connections come to me, connections. Connections won't come to you. Connections will not come to you. You have to chase connections. In other words, let me give you this scenario. In 2015, when there was a by-election, President Michael Sata died in 2014. 2015, I went to Deepak Patel's office in Mulima Road, Woodlands, to offer to be President Hakainde Hichilema's photographer. I had no access to HH at that moment. So I went there. Deepak Patel chased me like no man's business. Deepak Patel chased me from his office. And Deepak Patel said, no, this chap is a PF chap. We don't want to. But I was honestly wanting to photograph President Hakainde Hichilema because I wanted to build the president. President from opposition and all those things. Deepak Patel. That's how Ruth Dante, I Sanjava Chellah, I love your work. Let's work together. Go first kuriba GBM. Na ba Nevas Mumba. Eva tuambile nokula bakopa ba Nevas Mumba na ba GBM. Kwa ba Nevas Mumba became a fan of my photography. Na ba GBM ture bakopa firafini. Eva lomba tuambile ture kopa nde bakopa shani kwa. The president, GBM was vice president of UPND. Ture kopa na ba Bernard Dimpundu can tell you this story. Those of you who know about Bernard Dimpundu. I would be capturing, people were really blocking me from HH. Then we defend and they kopevo fini kwa nde chama photos ama works. Ndira ndapana pali HH pa social media and stuff like that. Later on, HH huyo umu inefeka. Mwaicha wandi Tukuta, tuku. He was calling me tukutuku. Kwa? Nula banjikete ba PF. Banjikete mu 2020 banjikete ba PF. Aisha na mkumbona ko kumasero. Ukufuma paria, HH told me, I want you to be my photographer. You are a professional and you are good at what you do. What connected me to HH? My work. My photography. HH appointed me more position. Tukuta, I want you to be my photographer everywhere I go. That's how I started capturing President Hakainde Hichilema. He's going for campaigns, Okondi. He's going for what? Ekondi. Dekopa. I did not ask President Hakainde Hichilema to say, pay me. A lot of young photographers working with a wealthy man like that, a successful man like that, the first thing they'll focus on is, no, tuliemo boss, tuliemo. In a spirit, ya tuliemo. That's why a lot of people, you don't get a lot of connections. The first thing you ask for is tuliemo. Me, when I started working with President Hakainde Hichilema, there was no tuliemo. No tuliemo. I was working with him in opposition. People were refusing to be photographers of HH. It was not fashionable. Tina, today when I see a lot of people wanting to capture HH, I even look like, wow, okay. Because back in the days, no one even ever wanted to be associating with HH. Me just associating with HH, 2016, they broke my cameras. I don't know how many times I was attacked for photographing HH. I went through so much and a lot. So when people are saying, oh, you are just lucky. Lucky? Do you know the things I went through? You are. Yeah. How did that lucky? Lucky. Let me give you free advice. If you want connections from big people, do not go with a Turiemo mentality. The moment you go with a Turiemo mentality to successful people, they once off and forget about you. But when you go with the mentality to say you are ready to work, you know, in a body, sorry body, but you know, body guys and that Tukuta. I want to support your photography. Hey, that's support up and on. It's not a small support. It's not a small support. Body has bought me cameras. It's not small support. And it's not, and it's because he knows I don't go to say bossy. Now I'm on church, and you know, a lot of people think that you know, when you are found with a president, then kula lomba seva president. Some of you, maybe that's why lesa tamistra connect kubantu abandalama or abantu ababa successful. Is because imanga mwabafe connected no muntu wandalama nangu muntu aba successful. Yonse kula lomba fi. Pereni compare. Just talk to them, greet them, not ngabamona phone ko baisha lokushwa tare lomboyo. The reward for hard work is more than you okulafi cafe. No, boss tuliemo. Boss tuliemo kairi. Tuliemo fe chari mo info boss. Muliemo chari mo. Aleni. Muliemo chari mo. Ngamwarira mo chari mo. Wala milabako. Wala milabako ngamwarira mo chari mo. So, kwave fintu fimo where you don't need to tuliemo. Defa tuliemo. Icona man. Don't have a tuliemo mentality. Just work. Do your thing. People get shocked when Bali says, tukus. I just work. I don't need the president to tell me to do this, do that. No. Some of you to defend the president, some of you, before we just defend the president. And some people think, no, it's because Yamo, that's why we do. No, I just defend the president. I don't need to be paid to defend the president. No. I just need to look at the bigger picture. That's another topic for later on. Good day.